There's a Ber Alocha here. We're on page 279. The Ramot said that Erev Shabbos there's a minog that although normally in shul you light between Mincha and Ma'ariv, but in Erev Shabbos they light before Mincha. So over here the Mishna Berura said that the Marshal also agrees with the Ramah, but the Darkei Moshe writes, but that's not the way we conduct ourselves. That even Erev Shabbos, you light between Mincha and Ma'ariv. Yeah, he says, Ella af Erev Shabbos madlikim beis hakneses bei Mincha l'Ma'ariv b'shal she'olam maschil l'diskabetz. It's at a time when people begin gathering in shul, vika persumi niso, and as a result of that, there's a publicizing of the nes. Ochein, he says, however, if the people are coming late, and before the people come, it's going to be shkia, so of course then you should light before the people show. Okay? Why? Because he'll have to pursue these, because ultimately when they'll come after shkia, they'll see the candles burning. So even though you don't have to pursue these at time of the lighting, you'll have it afterwards. Okay? So also it's a little different. If you hold hadlokos a mitzvah, so it seems to be they should be there when you light. Of course, it continues. But he says, nevertheless, if you see people are going to come late, so you can't wait till after shkia, you can't light it. Once sundown comes, you can't light the candles any longer. It's Friday afternoon, right before. So over here, the Ber Alocha learns, what is Persumi Nisa? How many, let's say you're in shul, you have less than 10 people. Are you permitted to say the bracha is less than 10 Persumi Nisa, as long as you have more than one person there? You're publicizing, where you put lighting in a location where ultimately you will have people. See, I mean, let's say you light it in your window. Right? So it says, because the Gemara says in Shabbos that a half an hour after the first half an hour of nightfall, people are still walking around in the street. Because people are going buying kindling wood. So people, since they're on the street buying kindling wood, they'll see the lights. That's Persumi Nisa. That's why that is the optimum time to light Hanukkah lights, right at the beginning of the nighttime. Because afterwards, people are not on the street any longer. So you don't no longer have the Persumi Nisa. This was at the time of the Gemara. Okay? But in shul, so there you say, well, you have people, you have minimally that many people to see it. But in shul, why are you lighting? You're not lighting it to be motzi anybody. You're lighting it because it's a setting, it's a public setting. What's a public setting? Normally, always public settings, always a minyan. So let's say you have less than 10 people in shul. Are you permitted to light in shul with a bracha? So that's the Ber Alocha speaks about. Okay? Take it here. So he says, Yesh noged lahadik be'erev Shabbos kodem mincha. I Mishna Berura Chanukah Shem Darkei Moshe daminig acheni ma'olam komakom ika pesumi niso. He says if it's running late Friday and you see it's already coming to sundown, you should light before shkia and the people see it afterwards. Right? This Mishna Berura said. Kol zeh kos Magen Avram. That's the Magen Avram. V'hinei b'morkzio v'hu b'shari tshuva. The morkzio is Rabbi Yaakov Emden. He says, Cholek al zeh v'dato t'keim shemashem adlik v'yisktesu k'dei lefarsim anes b'makelos. Why do you do it? Because you're lighting it in a public setting to make it known. Be'ino daf k'shi'asora b'shas hadloka. So the morkzio writes, you have to have 10 people in shul. When you light, you must have 10 people. Anything less than 10 people, you're not able to light. The kavosa ashkon gabi nami b'chol persumi milsa balmot lo sag v'lavasar. We find the Gemara whenever they want to publicize, let's say, a halacha or a fact, they always say it in the presence of 10. The kavosa ashkon, he says, kid ashkon per kamed chsubis, just had in the daf yomi, right? Kashkon omesh le shmulach rav chonav begarato zil aisili be'asora ve'ema manpayu. Hamazak will bring 10 people, and I will stay in their presence, a certain halacha. Val came dato tzorch kol mamosh, vein edo pchusa me'asoro. V'hinei hayechidim yotze la'atzim kolech bebeso. He says, individuals, each one lights his own candles at home. But the shul is it's a whole different concept of lighting. V'lo niskenu neiros l'shnosim b'sches el b'tzibur levad. When they originally legislated, you light candles, Hanukkah lights in shul, you have to have a tzibur. Omnam imashod dechuke ein levat ladloko el liyadlik blo brochas. Morkzio writes, but what happens if you don't have a minyan and it's running late Friday afternoon? Right? So it's either now or it's not going to be. You light without a bracha. Without a bracha. V'nira shigam mashevi Magen Avram b'shem Maril. It seems to be also. The Maril also did not light with a bracha. He lit, but without a bracha. Ad kan l'shono. Lani is daiti. Let's stop for a moment. It's interesting. I mentioned it when we learned the Gemara in Ksubas recently. The Gemara says that to publicize something, 10 is a public setting. The Gemara says, Lefresume, the Gemara uses an expression, Lefresume milsa, to make it known, that it should be known. So it's the same word, Lefresume milsa. So he understands. So what is considered a public setting to make something known? You have to have 10. That's the Mortzia, okay? So what I said was, there's an argument, there's the question in the Gemara, in Megillah. If you read the Megillah, not on the 14th, time of the Gemara, there were times that we read on the 11th, 12th, 13th. Okay? Everybody agrees you have to have a minyan. You have to have a minyan. Because it's not a time of Pirsumi Nisa. But there's an argument on the 14th where everybody's reading. It says, Man Pirsumi Nisa. It's Machlokes Rav and Ravasi whether you need a minyan. We rule one doesn't need a minyan. On the 14th, even or on the 15th, one does not have to have a minyan to read the Megillah. Okay? Rav and Ravasi. But one says you do have to have. So over there's a famous ritva, very famous ritva. Normally, what is considered a minyan? 10 men. Why? Because that's called Edo. So if to say Kaddish, Kedusha, various things, you have to have 10 men. A woman cannot be considered part of the minyan. What about if the purpose of 10 is the Fersumi Milsa? It's not that you need Edo. You need a public setting. So Ritva says, even if they're not 10 men. 10 means 10 people. Even if you have women, part of it, because again, it's a public setting. Seemingly has to be adults, right? Says, I was waiting for that question. I know exactly the type of question Moshe asks. And that's a guy who has an undergraduate degree in engineering. That's the kind of question he asks. So the Ritva says, so I'm saying, so over here also, so the Morkzi says you have to have 10 people in shul, right? Do you need 10? Do you need 10 men? Let's say some women will be there. Or let's say you'd have, what about Goyim? Because the Gemara says, why is the first half an hour when you light candles a time for Sumin Isa? Because Rashi says, because the Talmudoi, it says that a nation of Goyim, they would sell kindlewood on the street, they would be in the street. So they want to show, see Sumin Isa, even when the non-Jew sees it. So the janitor's there, and the bottle washers in the shul, because they're running a meal, right, Friday night. Right? Do you light candles with a bracha according to the Morkzi, according to the Rabbi Yaakov Emden? So according to Ritva, you would. Right? You don't have to have 10 Jews or 10 men. That's considered Persumi, that's called Persumi Nisa. Lani is daiti, now the Mishna Berura speaking, the Be'er Halacha. Lani is daiti, he says, according to my humble opinion, Persumi Nisa the Chanukah enu totally kol kach b'zeh. The etzem adloko b'chlal Persum Anes. It says a person only has enough money to purchase the Ner Chanukah or Kiddush Friday night from wine. You don't have enough money for both. Which takes precedence over which? Pirsumin Isa or Kiddush, because it's a Doraisa. Ner Chanukah Odif Mishum Pirsumin Isa. Smar says Ner Chanukah, even though it's only rabbinical, but since it represents the concept of Pirsumin Isa, takes precedence over Kiddush. Because Kiddush you could say without wine. Or bread, even if you don't have, you say Vayachulu, on a Torah level, you fulfill the mitzvah of Kiddush. The mitzvah itself, that's Persumi Nisa. Need the adloka zu shebeis knesu enu mitzat takoros chachomim rak hanhog shenigu kol yisrael kadei lefarsim enes berabim. Although it's a minhag, lighting in shul is a minhag. It was never legislated by the chachomim. Each individual near Ishu Beso, that was a rabbinic enactment. Lighting in shul, that was a minhag. Because we understand, since at home we see that the concept of Persumin Isa, so you have the best Persumin Isa in shul, it's a public location. So that's that. But from where was it derived? It was derived from the takona, from the legislation. So just as in your home, you don't have to have 10 when you light Hanukkah lights. Right, that's called Persumi Nisa. So the shul can't be any less or worse than the home. Especially people afterwards, you'll have the minyan. The minyan will come after Shkia. It says, what happens if a person doesn't have Hanukkah lights? You don't have. And you see in somebody else's Hanukkah lights burning in the window. Do you say a bracha? So l'hadlik ner shel Hanukkah, you're not able. But al anisim you say, right? Not al anisim. You say, right? Shas anisim lavsim bayim me'bazman hazeh. Right? You say that, or you say shechionu. Okay? V'lo tiknu b'shar mitzvahs bracha al ariyo. V'tircham the rishon b'shmesum niso chen zekosu gam toses b'sukkah. The man come in the odom she'ed lem bayis v'im yodem cham mitzvah. The person who sees the candles burning, he says a bracha, right? Although he didn't see the candles when they were lit, he only sees them afterwards, and he's able to say a bracha. So you see, what's the takana? The takana does mean Pesumim Nisa is not only when they're lit, but as long as you see candles that were lit for Hanukkah, that's sufficient Pesumim Nisa. Rak rosav achkach mikri Pesum Anes. What? V'ochanami. What? No. You don't have candles. And you see somebody else's candles burning. Do you say a bracha on those candles? The halachas, you say a bracha on those candles. Not comparable. Not comparable. Okay? Not the same. First, it's different. He's bringing out the point. Even though we will have lokos a mitzvah, that's where he's coming from, Rabbi Yaakov Emden and the other ones. But he says, but factually, even if hadlokos a mitzvah, if you don't do the lighting, you still say the bracha. See, what do the candles represent? Even for bracha, it represents Pesumim Nisa. That's the point he's making. The second bracha, just not lahadlik. Just nisan lavsim bayimahim bazman hazeh. Basically, the Maril, the Shamish, the one who that was his responsibility. He would light the lights in shul before people came, and he'd say the bracha. So let's talk. So let's say you have a situation. You have shul doesn't have a minyan, right? You can have less than 10 people showing up. Do you light candles with the bracha? The answer is definitely not. Here, we're only saying the whole discussion is: do you have 10 at the time of the lighting, or 10 are going to come later? But if ultimately 10 are not coming, you want to light candles, but without a bracha, under no circumstance, because that's not Pesumim Nisa. That's what we're discussing over here. No, not because of Jews. Why do you light candles in the shul or in a base medrash? Because it's a gathering place. People will see, so that's considered you're publicizing the miracle. So there's a whole discussion there. Do you have to have the 10 there when you light, or even if the 10 come after the lighting? That's the discussion we're discussing. But let's say ultimately you're not going to have 10. Right? In the winter, sometimes you don't have a minyan Friday night. You're in such a community. So, okay, so you would light, but without a bracha. No. Again, good. Correct. No. We'll make a differentiation. We're differentiating. The lighting in shul the concept is similar to the concept of lighting at home, but it's different. We light in shul as a minhag. It's not a rabbinic law. That's a takeoff of what we do at home. When we light at home, we're lighting it at a time that every Jew is publicizing the miracle. So therefore, even though you don't have a minyan in your house, you're the only person in your house, you light the candle in your house, because it's a time that every Jew publicizes the miracle. In shul, we drew from the home, since it's a location of gathering of Jews, it's a public setting, we'll publicize it to a greater degree. But that minog is only if it's a setting of 10 people. Because there, it's not a time of Pesumim Nisa. There, actually, you are publicizing the miracle. So if you have less than 10, you're not publicizing the miracle. If that's the case, when one would not light, with the bracha, definitely not. That's what we're saying. Purim or Chanukah? It's a question. It's wait. You live out on a farm. Your closest neighbor is a mile away, and you light right at the beginning of nightfall. You light your candles. Nobody's going to see the candles except yourself. What's the halacha? You light candles with a bracha, because when you're lighting it, it's a time that every Jew is lighting the candle. It's a time we're all publicizing the miracle among ourselves. What about you lighting midnight? Right? So the way we'll see later, and nobody's there. Even if you light the candles, you're not permitted to say a bracha. It's not simply say a bracha. Because since it's not a time where all Jews already have lit, so if you have people in the house, it says you should wake up some of the members of your family, that they should be present when you light the candles. Otherwise, you should not light with a bracha. But if you light it at the beginning of nightfall, where it's a time every Jew is lighting, it's a time of presuming Esau, although you're the only person there, you light with a bracha, without a question. Because it is a time of presuming Esau. That's all same idea. It's a minhag. But that's without a bracha. Right, but that's a takeoff. It's the same concept. It's because people are coming, and therefore you light. And when people come, they see the candles burning. No, because it's a different concept of presuming Nisa. The Megillah is a different setting of presuming Nisa. Is it similar to Kriyas HaTorah? That's the idea. Okay, let's see the wholesale voters.